Now making his entrance to the ring as the challenger, the man known as AJ Anthony Joshua.
We are ready to rumble in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Andy Ruiz Jr. Tattoos, 20 stone plus. Former champion Anthony Joshua, who has lived his life under the bright lights and he's under a harsh spotlight tonight. First Mexican world heavyweight champion. What a buzz around this fantastic purpose-built arena. Anthony Joshua, the challenger, desperate to get those belts back. Such a calm, composed fella is Ruiz, marching out full of confidence, and Joshua first to score with a good left hook. He's got to be mindful of that jab from Ruiz, who has come in at over 20 stone, while Joshua has trimmed down, looking for mobility and looking to keep the fight at range. Early thoughts from Darren Barker.
Absolutely, he has to stay switched on. We know how dangerous Ruiz is, and he hurt Anthony Joshua badly several times out in New York, so expect a very disciplined display from Anthony Joshua. He's going to have to work well behind his jab.
That will be his game plan, to try and keep things at range. Much easier said from commentary positions than done inside those ropes. He's got a plan, he wants to stick to it. The champion has other ideas. The pride of Mexico loves being the champion. He relished that upset he caused at Madison Square Garden, and he wants more of the same. His life has been transformed. Fast hands, good boxing brain, come through a real hard amateur school, and looking to destroy Joshua again. But so far in this first round, Joshua's game plan is coming off, and Ruiz has been kept at distance.
He is. Good movement, good jabs by Anthony Joshua. Very patient start so far from Andy Ruiz. Halfway through this, hasn't really thrown a great deal, just having a look. But again, the movement and the jab from Anthony Joshua is good.
Joshua doesn't mind how he does it. He wants to win. That's all. He wants to win and get back to the UK with those belts. He's been calm and composed, sharp and focused. No distractions coming in the ring, and throwing a good right hand there. And is that a nick around the eye of Ruiz? We will find out. This is a dream start for the challenger in the white trunks from Watford, England, Anthony Joshua. Ruiz, the pride of Mexico. Fast hands, fighting instincts.
Look at the concentration in the eyes of Anthony Joshua. Really is switched on. Boxing nicely in this opening round. Patient start from Ruiz, but good stuff from Joshua. Good jab.
That jab has been the most telling punch of the fight so far. All business, all focus from Anthony Joshua. Ruiz, the stalker, but he's finding difficulty getting in range. As Joshua again pokes out that left jab. That's the right cross from Ruiz, and a big right hand. Joshua followed it up again. Blood starts to trickle down Ruiz's eye. This is a fine start from Anthony Joshua, a fine start. And it's Ruiz on the receiving end, and it's Ruiz who is bleeding. What a roar for Anthony Joshua. Big support there from him. A tap from Robert McCracken. Well done, son. Keep that going. And Ruiz is bleeding and looks just a little bit disturbed.
Lively round, patient for, but that was a lovely right hand. But again, that's what opened the cut there. We see though what a great chin Ruiz had. We see it in the contest, we see it again, because that was a good right hand. And back he fired, but there is a cut to Ruiz after the first round.
Yeah. Well, he wobbles when he takes the punches, as you might expect for somebody 20 stone, but he does absorb them. Josh Bertie, how encouraged will Joshua be by the fact that he's cut him in the first?
Again, we noticed he learned from the last fight. didn't rush him straight away, but one thing I'm noticing, Jim, very relaxed, light on the feet, isn't hanging about, and this I feel was a great tactic from Big Josh.
First round, Joshua. That's Ruiz. There was a heavyweight champion called Valoev who weighed 23 stone. Second in that list is Ruiz, but don't be fooled by the physique. He's a fighting man, a brilliant amateur. Mexican schooled by Cuban while getting through. He's got a good jab as well, and he showed it there. Powerful jab. Joshua's head jolted back. He has to be wary. He has to keep his gloves up, because if he gets in trouble, can Joshua handle it? And that was a worrying sign for Anthony Joshua, the power of that jab, Darren.
Yeah, he's such a handful, isn't he, Ruiz? Just keeps walking forward. Very patient start from Ruiz. Hasn't let awful lot go yet. Not wasting anything. But there's that right hand again from AJ.
And that blood and the left eye is damaged of Ruiz. So that will give Anthony Joshua a huge incentive as he backs away, and Ruiz rumbles towards him, the late opponent who got so lucky. Not lucky, he hit the jackpot, didn't he, in Madison Square Garden. He's earning a big purse tonight, not as big as Joshua's, by the way. But he loves being a world champion and wants to hang on to them, does the Mexican. Meantime, Joshua has to keep his boxing brain aware. He's got the early result, he's got the cut on Ruiz's left eye halfway through this second round.
Deep concentration by both guys here. See AJ switched on, and he has to be, because Ruiz is stalking him, walking forward, looking so dangerous, but not wasting anything.
He's boxing according to a plan here. We'll get to Josh Buatsi at the end of this round. Two good right hands then from Joshua, and Ruiz felt those and backs away towards us. Excellent start from
It looks
Anthony
like
Joshua.
Joshua's cut on the left eye. I could be wrong, but it looks like Joshua's cut on the
Yeah,
left
you're
eye.
right. There is a cut to the left eye of Anthony Joshua. Well spotted.
Well done, that's why we have you here. Josh Buatsi, both men cut. First two rounds not completed. This fight living up to all expectations, the clash on the dunes in Saudi Arabia. And you're struggling to separate them at the moment, although the superior style of Joshua might just be catching the eye of the judges, who knows. Last 15 seconds, second round, both men cut. Good left hand from Anthony Joshua. Ruiz takes it, hardly blinks. This tough man comes forward. End of the second. Josh Buatsi, go on, lad.
Different tactics from the big man there. He's, like I said, light on his feet, Jim. Isn't there, isn't hanging about. Concerns are he's got a cut on his left eye, I believe, but the left eye, yeah, I think is the left eye, but thankfully it doesn't look like it's above the eye.
It's a very good spot indeed. They've been focusing so hard on their boxing, getting back down to basics. Remember, this fella just needed 16 fights to become a world champion. Meantime, Ruiz in the other corner, fighting all his right. And will not want that to get any worse, that cut. They seem to have it under control at the moment. So both men have felt the power, and both men are damaged in these first two rounds. That was the jab. Do not underestimate the jab of Ruiz. And a good hook from Joshua too. Both men hit, hurt and cut first two rounds. Here we go with the third. Ruiz coming forward. All business. His parents are here. So are Joshua's. Good feeling between the rival camps, not so in the ring, of course. And Anthony Joshua boxing according to a rigid plan.
Which I must say, Jim, he's sticking to perfectly.
Yeah, you know what it is as well. And he has to be very wary, because if he gets wobbled as he was at Madison Square Garden, in Ruiz, there is a man who's been through the boxing mill and knows exactly how to finish things off. The jab working well from Joshua as well. Lighter on his feet, you just take that with less weight. Lighter on his feet, more mobile.
Yeah, he's happy to move, spearing that left jab out. Already I've seen that he's bringing it straight back to his chin as opposed to his waist like he was in the first contest. Good defense by Joshua there. But again, Ruiz stalking Anthony Joshua. Looking very patient, not wasting anything.
He is such a clever fighter, despite his bulk, which he's always carried and wears lightly and wears with a smile as well. And has he been having a bit of a joke at us about exactly how much he weighs? But make no mistake, the jab is good, the hands are fast as well, the feet might not be the quickest in the business, but a very effective fighter and a very tough one to beat. Only Joseph Parker has managed to beat Ruiz, and that was in New Zealand, and that decision was controversial to say the least. And when Ruiz got the opportunity at Madison Square Garden, he took it, and he's got the taste of being a champion. He doesn't want to relinquish it here.
Absolutely. Already created legacy, becoming Mexico's first heavyweight champion of the world, but that's not enough for him. He wants to continue reigning in this division, and there's some big opportunities out there for him, but he has to get past this challenger, and Anthony Joshua, who's desperate to get his titles back. Boxing well, a lot of movement from Joshua, so I think this weight that he's at will help him be more nimble, be able to move more. Last time out was very muscle bound, wasn't he?
He was. What I'm noticing here is what we're seeing in this fight is different angles. Notice when Josh is moving, he's not moving in the same pattern. He's changing. He's going to his left. He's going to his right. This is confusing Ruiz. Good shot to the body there from Josh.
Yeah, good stuff from Anthony Joshua, from AJ. 4 titles on the line here, do not forget. And a good rounder for Joshua, this one. Ruiz, as we tip towards the end of this one.
Beautiful run in the bag.
Yeah, Ruiz realizes, or he believes, his camp believe, that he has to get the job done inside the distance. He's very aware of what happened in New Zealand, doesn't want it to be repeated here. And again, a good jabber from Anthony Joshua, getting that jab out, which he was told he had to do. He did not do it in Madison Square Garden. This is a different Joshua here, and doesn't Ruiz know it?
Yeah, but very disciplined AJ this time. Getting back to basics, really working well behind that jab. Good start.
Trainer Manny Robles in the corner, dedicated 3 months training camp, says he's been really tough on the champion. His sparring has been perfect, and now is the perfect time for him. He is in a proper contest here as he attempts to hang on to those titles that he won at Madison Square Garden. 4 rounds, Joshua has probably started just the better. Never discount the skills and the fast hands of Ruiz Jr. Proud Mexican. Pouring a bit for that jab this time.
Was just going to touch on that, Jim. What he's doing with that jab, he's fending him off. It's making Ruiz have to think twice before he comes in. Whereas if that jab wasn't there, Ruiz could walk him straight down and unload on him. But that's making Ruiz think. The moment he's thinking, Josh is moving. Josh is unloading punches. Great tactics.
Darren, different Joshua here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely switched on. We can see exactly what the game plan is from the off. To outbox the heavier. I was about to say slower, not slower with hand, but definitely the feet are slower than Joshua's, and this is good. Good boxing is what we've seen him do so well in the amateurs, capturing that gold in 2012, and it looks like he's going back to basics here, working well behind that jab. I think he's going to try and lure Ruiz in and try and walk him on to that right hand.
Joshua is dedicating his life to this sport of boxing. Good exchange there in the middle, 15 years. He's compared it to a prison sentence of routine, of hard training, and he says he's not prepared to give it up yet, even though he's got enough money to last him several lifetimes. and he wants to re-establish what he considered a wrong.
Guys, I would like to pick up on
New
this.
York.
Sorry, Jim, I'd like to pick up on this. Just on that exchange, Ruiz thought he'd hit him. Josh replied, "I'm not hurt. You didn't get me." He's in there. He's present. He knows what's happening. He wasn't touched.
It's nice to see that. Always wanting to get the last word in the arguments. AJ knows how valuable these rounds are. Doesn't want him to slip away, especially with these tactics. They'll try to outbox Ruiz.
And he's not being too greedy, though. This is one thing I like. He isn't overcooking it.
He has made a very good start here, certainly compared to what happened at the Garden. A miles better start. The fight was unraveling at this stage in Madison Square Garden in New York. Not this time. Joshua restoring a bit of normal service, but still being stalked by Ruiz, who is surprisingly nimble fellow on his feet, despite the belt that he carries. Good right hand, Joshua. Did Ruiz get his gloves up there for that one? And just masked by that one. A good left from Joshua too. Unloading here, Anthony Joshua.
Good action here in the fourth round. AJ let his fist fly, as is Ruiz. Good stuff.
Ticking towards the big overhand right. Big overhand right, Ruiz, who's finishing strongly this. And just for a moment there, Joshua unraveled, taking two more behind the back of the head. End of the round. Joshua going, was that round over or not? And for the first time, looking a little bit discombobulated there, Darren.
A couple of those right hands in close definitely stunned AJ there for a split second.
Let's just have a little look at this. There was that overhand right back of the head, then the left hook, and all of a sudden those quick hands were in evidence, and he was on the back foot, was Joshua, and we looked to see if that was temporary or permanent. Great finish to that last round. Little word from referee Luis Pabon, the 53-year-old Puerto Rican. Those were fierce exchanges inside. And Ruiz, the champion, got the better of them. Just worrying how he looked when he was under fire there, Anthony Joshua.
Yeah, it was a big cuffing shot right at the back of the head of AJ, and we've seen how vulnerable he was there around that area in the first fight, so maybe it was a tactic from Ruiz to try and rough AJ up when he does get in close and try and land around the back and the side of the head.
And in that moment we saw why the great debate was raging about this fight. Could Joshua change it around? What happens when he gets into trouble? And we got half an answer there.
See the quick feet of Ruiz then when he moves back. You know, he does struggle sometimes moving forward quickly with his feet, and his hands do go in front of his feet, and he does fall short at times, as we see there. But going backwards, he really does get out of range good.
Joshua very keen to keep this at range. Get the impression once they get inside like here, Joshua tends to come off second best, because with that lot of Cuban coaching and the Mexican background, they love it at close quarters, don't they?
They do indeed. Though I do think Anthony Joshua is a good inside fight. We've seen the first fight, the right uppercut and the left hook that dropped Ruiz. It was good stuff, but this is a good discipline round again from AJ, looking to work behind that jab. There it is. And again, lovely work. Taking his time, really looking for the opening for that right hand. Doesn't want to overreach and fall short.
Good work from Anthony Joshua. Just shows the benefit of all that preparation he's put in, dedicating himself up there in Sheffield. Good jab again from Joshua, beating Ruiz to the punch very comfortably there. Standing tall, standing light on his feet as well. Ruiz just reddening up a little bit around the face of those. Both those cuts are not worsened at all. Good overhand right from Joshua.
As I'm talking about there, Jim, when he does throw the jab and throws his shots, Ruiz, sometimes he can come over his front foot. forced Joshua to try and find his counter shots. That was a good right hand, but Ruiz took the sting out of that.
Another good round this for Anthony Joshua, last 30 seconds of it. And finishing pretty strongly, Joshua here, and after those uncertain moments at the end of the fourth, he has come back pretty well in the fifth. Good style, keeping Ruiz at bay. That cut is bleeding a little bit down the side of Ruiz's face. It shouldn't have any real impression on this fight, though. And we get Josh Buatz's thoughts at the end of the round. Destroy the whole building. And don't forget that defeat at Madison Square Garden was his first since he was an amateur way back in 2011. So they've trimmed him down, they've lost a bit of muscle, they've gone back to boxing basics, they've got rid of a lot of commercial stuff while he prepared for this fight, and so far, as we come towards the halfway stage, it has been paying off down.
It has indeed. Boxing nicely. Oh, big right uppercut went in from AJ. Left hook back from Ruiz. Another right hand from AJ. Letting a fist fly in this sixth round.
Beautiful again. You see the lead hand there again. He held it out. He fenced it. He moved Ruiz into a much more vulnerable position. So beautiful boxing.
Excellent stuff from the former champion Anthony Joshua, who is edging ahead in this fight as things stand. But as we all know, Ruiz, the fast hands, the Mexican, has it in his power to change things around very, very quickly.
It does indeed. Still stalking Joshua. He seems to be following him around the ring as opposed to cutting him off. But still thinking, maybe he's thinking they'll take it into the later rounds.
This is really good, seeing Joshua fight like this. They've worked so hard to address the balance, a real psychological blow to him after what happened in New York. So many theories thrown around, no one really knows the truth, but we're seeing the truth, the real Joshua deal up there now. And Ruiz coming forward, trying to get a foothold really in this sixth round.
He's not able to get close yet, Jim. Still tad off the pace. Just falling short a couple of times. Like I said, he seems to be following AJ round the ring as opposed to cutting him off. But it's good, sensible, disciplined boxing from Anthony Joshua at the minute. Lovely left hook.
Great jab turning into a hook at the moment. And the work that has been put in is paying off.
And Jim, I'd like to say this is an expression of my favourite word. Ruiz looks absolutely discombobulated.
That'll do, we'll take that one. I'm not sure what it is in Mexican, but I'm sure he feels the same way at the moment. It is Joshua, the fight going Joshua's way as we tick towards the end of the sixth.
Boxing nicely, he really is. Making Ruiz fall short there, moving lovely. Like Joshua said, moving both ways, creating angles, making it hard for Ruiz to get settled.
Yeah, good right hand, and Ruiz, as Joshua stooped low, just throwing a few there, and we'll get orders ticking off from referee Louis Pabon. Signs, perhaps, that the champion's getting a bit frustrated. End of the sixth. Ruiz, the destroyer, got to find a few more destructive punches to live up to that nickname tonight. He's had Joshua a little bit wobbled earlier in the fight. Joshua has been calm, has executed his game plan superbly, has blocked at the end of that jab, and scored some very effective punches as well.
Jim, look at the lead hand, keeping Ruiz off balance, making him think. He's thinking, he's having to think a lot more than he did in the first fight. Very, very disciplined performance from the big one.
Joshua will be aware this was the round where all unravelled in Madison Square Garden, and it will take a major turnaround for that to happen here tonight, because Joshua, as he starts to let his hands go, seems to be growing in confidence. He must know that he's ahead, but he also must know that Ruiz is a dangerous hombre.
Of course he is, yes. I don't think there's any need for Ruiz to get desperate as yet. Long way to go in this fight, but the rounds are slipping away.
Yeah.
And AJ is boxing nice. Very disciplined display so far. Working well behind the jab, as we see there. Not wasting anything, not being silly at all.
With a word from referee Pavon to Ruiz about a punch that went on the back of Joshua's head, but no damage. And no real protest from Joshua.
Short, yeah.
Had to go with the right, and it just whistled into the Saudi air, that one, didn't it? That would have caused a real load of damage. But listen, look at Ruiz, he doesn't go off his feet. And if Joshua just keeps this going, a pointless victory would do him very nicely here, but he's got to be very, very wary of Ruiz.
Big right hand.
Good shot. Good right hand again. Yeah, hold if you have to,
Advice from the British light heavyweight champion, Joshua Buatsi, at ringside here. And he's of the stock that if he gets hit, he comes back with two of his own, does Ruiz. But real joy and real success for Anthony Joshua in this 7th round. With a disparity and a little bit of chat between the two of them there. Ruiz perhaps trying to unsettle him and perhaps trying to drag him into a scrap, and for my money, Joshua will be well advised to avoid that. He's obviously having a scrap, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, avoided that left hook from Ruiz. Showing he's got the quicker feet. But yeah, I agree. That's another good right hand. I agree with you there. Joshua does not need to be greedy. Land the shots and get out.
Land the shots, get out. He's winning the fight as it's going at the moment.
Look at the lead hand, look at the lead hand.
As he did at Madison Square Garden, he has been focused from the off, focused from the time he took those 102 steps from his dressing room, threw a bit of drizzle into the ring, absolutely focused on the business in hand.
Then poking that left arm out into the face of Ruiz, making it very difficult for Ruiz to get under there and get in close. Problem is what I've touched on before, Ruiz's feet coming forward just too slow against the nimble feet of Anthony Joshua. He's moving so nicely.
We've got to remember that last time that Ruiz came in as a latish opponent, an unknown quantity, and Joshua, one or two things disturbed him, but this time Ruiz was a totally known quantity to Joshua. He knew what to expect, good right hand as well. Anthony Joshua, and so far he has handled everything immaculately.
As indeed. You know, you look at AJ and you think to yourself, he's doing exactly what he should be. So I'll flip it onto Ruiz and think to myself, how can I win this contest? And what he needs to do, he needs to close the gap. He needs to start gambling now. You know, these rounds are slipping away, and AJ does have the comfortable lead. So Ruiz needs to throw everything at AJ now. Get closer. Look, this isn't good enough. Stalking him, just prodding forward. And that's it. That's more urgency.
Big right hand.
Right hand.
That was a big right hand, and for a moment he held on. There was a bit more chat in there between the two of them. And Louis Pavon just wants to say, come on guys, this has been good so far. And whether that was a blow on the back of the head that Joshua was not that happy about, a little verbal exchange and a tap of the gloves. And for me, that is what Ruiz has to do. He has to mess him around, he has to make him lose his concentration.
Jim, that was right and cute, exactly what I was saying. He needs to start forcing this, close the gap, and that's exactly what he's done. He stepped in with a big jab and then a massive right hand that AJ took. Well, credit to him, it was on the back of the head. Oh, another big right hand.
And a good left hook as well came in there. Oh, and they're carrying on. I don't know what Pavon's doing there. He's trying to stop them. He doesn't want to get between them though. And on they go. Well, is this swinging Ruiz way all of a sudden? Joshua getting the jab going, but Ruiz is still a lively, dangerous champion. As anticipated, he's not going to go out with a whimper here in the desert. And I think he knows he's got ground to make up, and he knows he has to have some sort of stoppage last 30 seconds, round 8, if he's got to hang on to those titles. He needs a real injection, does Ruiz, of pace and power. Signs of it a couple of times. And Joshua, is he getting too involved in that? He's got caught with a left hook as Joshua.
Rob McCracken will be desperate to get AJ back to the corner and say, get.
Finish here. He has to be behind on points, has to be. But he's had enough encouragement in that last round for him to believe he's going to repeat the garden treatment on Joshua. And Joshua, although he said to Rob McCracken in the corner, hey, I'm fine, he knows he had moments there that he would want to forget.
Yeah, get back to the game plan now. Behind that jab, keep moving. Try and get Ruiz to walk onto that right hand, and Ruiz needs to start closing that gap. You see, caused some damage in the last round.
He's getting closer, and this is where he wants to be, does Ruiz. To say that referee Louis Pavon has occasionally found it difficult to get between the fighters. That's been a good jab from Joshua that time. Keeping it at distance, keeping it at range, keep the point scoring going. And keep the world champion off him. That has to be the tactics for the last few rounds for AJ, Anthony Joshua. Big British support here. Mexicans are here in force as well. The local Saudis have turned out, and they're all wondering which way this is going to go. At the moment, it is inclining Anthony Joshua's way, but still some distance to go.
Absolutely. I was asking, expecting a bit more urgency from Ruiz coming out for this 9th round, but I think AJ's nullified that urgency with good disciplined boxing. Going back to basics again. We've seen him do so well in this contest, working well behind his jab, moving. We see there sort of Ruiz almost shrugging his shoulders to say, come on, stand there and fight with me.
Well, why should he if he's got the points in the bag as he has? And certainly the Joshua corner, Rob McCracken in particular, will want him to stay away.
This is good stuff from Joshua. Working the body there as well with a nice straight right hand. Landed at the body of Ruiz. Good stuff. Again, gets back to moving.
Joshua doesn't care how he wins. He's come here to get a W. He's not worried about putting on a show. He's not worried about a knockout. He has come here to win and regain those titles. And he's carrying out his game plan. He's a little smile on his face as well as a couple of those jabs come in from there. Joshua with a big left hook. And so back comes Ruiz again. And it's Joshua on the back foot. Frantic action last 30 seconds of the ninth.
Signs of frustration there from Ruiz. He's desperate for AJ to trade with him.
He's got to be sensible. He's got to keep that boxing brain switched on. And that signifies the last few seconds. It's still fascinating stuff. Fascinating. Families are here. I'm here all the time, okay? 3 to go. Championship rounds. I'm not going to push you for the exact score that you have in front of you, Darren, but I think you are swaying Joshua's way.
I am indeed. Good performance so far. Like I say, not the most entertaining, but we don't care. He gets the win. Oh, good right hand. AJ took the sting out of that though. Good shot by Ruiz. I expect him to start throwing the kitchen sink at AJ because he is behind on the scorecards, in my opinion. If he wants to keep a hold of these titles, he's got to let his hands go.
That's a good right hand from Joshua. Again, keeping that distance, keeping that precious distance between the two of them. As Josh Buatsi has kept telling us that pouring left jab is a very effective tactic. And Ruiz must be getting, you can see the frustration growing in him, that he has to pull up the lost ground and he's running out of time to do it. Josh Buatsi, what are your thoughts?
You touched on it, Jim, that lead hand vital. Look at it now, there it is again. And he's leading off it, he's keeping the gap, he's getting the time he wants. This time, I'm not shy to let you know my scorecards. This is the 10th round, I've got it 7-2. If you want to argue, 6-3 to Joshua.
Okay, the judges, Glenn Feldman, Steve Gray, and Benoit Roussel, USA, UK, and Canada might well be called into action at the end of this, the way things are shaping up. But with heavyweights, you never know. And you wonder as well about his conditioning, although he's showing no signs of slowing, carrying 20 stone around for 10 rounds. If he has to find a different pace, is he capable of it?
Well, look, do you know what? I'm just watching Ruiz, and he's just following AJ around the ring, you know, for some of it all. But, yeah, you know, I just think, you know, for someone who's been boxing since they're 6 years old, you're just following your opponent around the ring. He needs to cut the ring off. He's got to try and trap AJ in the corner. Don't get me wrong, I know Anthony Joshua's boxing well, he's moving lovely, but not enough urgency from Ruiz.
So Ruiz, will he be losing his titles? Will it be Anthony Joshua getting on the plane tomorrow with the belts? It's looking that way at the moment. Never discount the Mexican, the world champion, because of what he has done in the past. But if they were worried about this going to the judges, they have every right to be now, because the judges are sharpening their pencils and adding up their scores. And Joshua really composed. He's getting the job done in some style. We shall see.
I'm here all the time.
Round 11, just one more to go. Joshua building up, as we see it, a healthy points lead. Ruiz, who was always on the wrong end of that decision in New Zealand, was always worried about whether he would get the decision here. Well, unless the judges have seen something very, very different, as that left ramrod comes out again from Anthony Joshua. Joshua has surely got a big points advantage here.
Well, we're told when you're kids, the most important shot in boxing is the jab, and we've seen why today. You know, he's dictated the contest behind that ramrod jab, be it on the back foot, still a great scoring shot. It's kept Ruiz thinking throughout.
Back of the head, that one went into Darren. No complaints from Anthony Joshua. Penultimate round. It's really, for me, down to Ruiz now. What can he do?
That's to throw the kitchen sink at AJ Jimmy, really does.
Stylistically, this is just a different version of Anthony Joshua.
Yes.
He hasn't hung about this. He hasn't hung about tonight, boys.
From a boxing point of view, you have to look at this and say this is an absolutely outstanding performance from Joshua so far. Always got to say so far.
Yeah, this is heavyweight boxing, anything can happen. Ruiz trying to get close, but AJ doing exactly the right thing, though it's frustrating for the crowd and Ruiz himself, but just grab hold of him, stop him from working, stop him from throwing shots and get back behind that jab.
Joshua, a man who watches thousands of hours of boxing, a real student of the game. He'd have watched his fight at Madison Square Garden many times. He worked out what he did wrong. He has corrected it here, and he is surely heading for a W, and he's surely looking to get those belts around his waist once again. Ruiz now with less than 4 minutes to put things right here.
Jim, Darren and I want to talk, but you know what? We're just speechless. He is doing exactly what he has to do.
And look at the energy as well, looking so fresh. In the 11th round, he's moving around, still got a bounce in his step.
Beautiful.
Lovely, quick jab. So well conditioned. We know that from AJ, but this is one of the best I've seen him in physical shape, because he's had to do an awful lot of moving.
Well, that's why they took the weight off, obviously, isn't it? That's because you wonder if he could have fought like this, carrying that extra poundage and that extra muscle as well. He looks a lot happier at this weight to me, and he's on his toes, winning this round again as we tick towards the end of it. One round to go after this for Anthony Joshua. One round for Ruiz as well. Will he pull something? And now is the time to step up the concentration. Now is the time as the finishing line draws closer and closer for Joshua. Yeah, terrific support from a lot of Brits who have come here as well. Good right hand from Ruiz. And then Joshua holds on as you would.
Doing exactly the right thing. If you're not going to move, just grab hold of Ruiz, stop him from working. And that's exactly what he's done. Just got to stay switched on, move, move, move. If you're Ruiz, throw the kitchen sink, like I say. If you want to keep hold of your title, you have to let your hands go.
Here's Mexico's first heavyweight champion. Will his reign last for Big right hand, Joshua, big right hand, Ruiz, last round. As we anticipated, Ruiz has nothing to lose. Joshua has everything to lose after the way the fight has gone so far. He must not get involved. He must not get involved in a mega punch fest there. A bit of blood continues to trickle from the side of Ruiz's left eye. No problem for him. That hasn't had any significant impact in the fight. That jab coming out again from Joshua now.
This is beautiful, Jim. Beautiful.
The beautiful art of boxing. Joshua Ruiz. And he has fought an immaculate fight so far. He's got 1:26 to go as Anthony Joshua. He has redressed the balance. He has silenced the doubters. There were some who feared he would pack it up if things went wrong tonight. Not after a display like this from Joshua. My goodness me, he has boxed well. He's boxed well. He's boxed according to a plan. He has nullified the fast hands of Ruiz. He's taken a bit of punishment and he's come back and he has 1 minute to go, Darren.
He does. More of the same. Just keep doing what you're doing. Boxing lovely. Stay away from the ropes and the corner. Keep moving. It's his fight to lose now. There just isn't the urgency from Ruiz, is there?
I'm not sure he's got anything left in the tank, Ruiz. 40 seconds to go. And it's Joshua who wants to get going, would you believe that? He's not boxing on the retreat at all. He's very happy with the way things are going. And Ruiz still coming forward, but still can't close that gap significantly. Last 25 seconds then of an enthralling fight. He tried the big right and the bingo punch there. Joshua got him instead. A little smile from Ruiz Jr. as he comes forward. These are the last second. A big right hand, Joshua. Ruiz running out of time. His title's running away. No, why should he come to you?
Jim.
Why should he come to you? Joshua knows he's done it. Joshua on his toes. Joshua the dancing man in the desert. And the Brits celebrate. His corner celebrates. Desolation on the face of Ruiz, of Andy Ruiz Jr. This surely is Joshua's night. Redemption in the desert for Anthony Joshua. Has come back in great style. Eddie Hearn up there celebrating with him. And a rueful look, a head shake as well from Ruiz. And he must deep down, he must fear the announcement of the 3 judges, of Feltman from the USA, of Gray from the UK, and Roussel from Canada. And Joshua Ruiz is on his feet applauding that, so you better give your comments, Darren.
That was terrific stuff. That really was. Look, it wasn't the most entertaining fight that I've ever watched, but
he didn't mind about that. He didn't mind about that.
By all means necessary, Jim, get that win, and he done that. It was tremendous boxing, textbook stuff, behind the jab. Didn't get greedy like Joshua Ruiz said. Don't overreach. Let Ruiz walk onto everything, but the movement was terrific. I have to give a mention to Angel Fernandez, who was brought into the team alongside Rob McCracken.
Yep.
Really creating great angles, good movement, and that, for me, was a tremendous display, disciplined display that will earn him his titles back, I have no doubt.
His dad is in the ring with a big smile on his face, big smile on Eddie Hearn's face as well. That signifies that we have seen the same fight as everybody else, and that it will be Joshua who will be, well, I guess, the new, but he's the old, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Order back to where it was before. I've no doubt
And those who feared coming here to Saudi Arabia thought it was perhaps the wrong move, perhaps should have gone to Cardiff or something like that. Well, they are not looking too clever either, and we now have the official verdict for you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we go to the scorecards after 12 rounds of boxing. Glenn Feldman and Benoit Rousseau both have it 118 to 110. Steve Gray scores it 119 to 109. All three scorecards go to the winner by unanimous decision. The fighting pride of London, England, and once again, the heavyweight champion of the world, the man known as AJ, Anthony Joshua.
Here comes the confetti.
When the fight started, I was convinced there was going to be fireworks. You know, it was a big right hand. Ruiz felt that, and that's where the cut opened up.
Yep.
Thankfully, that didn't play any trouble, or cause any trouble, sorry, as the fight went on. And then from the second round, again, there was more shots. Ruiz started to get back into it slightly, landing shots of his own, as we see there. Good jab, but just was never able to close that gap enough. And there was a cut that opened up again for Anthony Joshua, but never caused him any trouble whatsoever. These were some scary moments if you're an AJ fan, because there were some cuffing shots.
Hit on the back of the head, looked a bit wobbled, but came straight back. And the jab is the punch of the night.
Order restored there, behind the jab, moving when he had to. Yeah, at times got greedy, got carried away, but that's understandable. He's a fighter, he likes to get stuck in. But it was, you know, at times it was punch perfect. It really was. You see it there, keeping it long, moving when he had to. You know, again, though he didn't get full leverage and full power in the shots, they were scoring shots, and they were enough to give him majority of the rounds. And, you know, I'm just glad that the scorecard reflected the disciplined performance.
He calls it the sweet science, and it was the jab that made it the sweet science tonight. He didn't get involved, and in the end, Ruiz was so frustrated about it. You can sense his frustration, that he wasn't as mobile as he wanted to be. He couldn't get to Joshua, and he knew he was on a big uphill pedal towards the end of the fight.
Yeah, you know, we did, you know, off air we was questioning at the weigh-in his weight, the 20 stone he's carrying in the ring. You know, we know how far. I've seen AJ in the gym. I've seen how well he can move and how disciplined he can be, and he showed it there. And Ruiz only has himself to blame as far as the weight's concerned. But here we have the two-time heavyweight champion of the world.
Tremendous sporting comeback this by Anthony Joshua.